Welcome to Young Intelligent Hearts. If you're new, welcome. I appreciate you being here, taking the time, to fellowship with us. But let's take a second to think about that. We're young, intelligent hearts. Intelligence is something that we all have. It's what we use to basically do everything. Our thought life is the most important thing in our lives. But it's so basic, sometimes we forget about it. And one thing that's so important is to keep it in check, because we have so many carnal thoughts, so many sinful thoughts that run through our heads, or other people's thoughts. When your homie tells you something, or when you see something that makes you think those things, that influences you. So how do we stop those things from happening? How do we get control over our thought life? There's only one way. That's exactly what we're going to talk about in today's lesson. Now, open this up. This is the foundation for everything, okay? This is what keeps this whole thing together. We're going to go to Philippians 4:8. Now, I'm using the English Standard Version. Now, what it says, finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, if there is anything worth of praise, think about these things. Now, our first point is discerning the right thoughts. Because here in this scripture, we have everything that we need. He has given us the step list. It's like the list, the go through, the runaround of what you need to think about when you have these thoughts in your head and you're like, is this from God? Is this what I should do? When you are tempted to do something, this is what you should go through. Is it pure? Is it honorable? Is it just? An example, when you're at work, because I be out working, whether it's with your coworkers, whether it's with the customer, or whatever job that you have, you might get annoyed. You might get frustrated. You might want to be aggressive. You might feel a cuss of spirit come into the room, as my pastor would say. But that's not the right thing to do. All you have to do, catch yourself in that moment. Be like, I know that's not pure. That's not honorable. That's not what God would want me to do. But obviously, that sounds a lot easier to do when I'm telling you to do it, through the screen. When it's like, man, in the midst of that situation, how am I supposed to actually do that? How do you expect in that situation, in the midst of all that's going on, catch myself, think, go through the little step list to make sure? And I really don't expect you to do that all the time. But there's one key thing that keeps us doing that. But for me to talk about it, we got to go to our next scripture. Very important. Very important. This is 1 Corinthians 10:13. It says, no temptation has overtaken you that is not common to man. God is faithful, and he will not let you be tempted beyond your ability. But with the temptation, he will also provide the way of escape that you may be able to endure it. So no matter what situation you are in, no matter what thoughts might plague your mind, might strike you, it is not more than you can handle. As long as, you listen to the scriptures, you're doing what he says to do, as long as that is your passion, that is your goal, you go through it, you can do it easily. And you might think, okay, how am I supposed to do that? Let's go back to the scripture. He will also provide the way of escape that you may be able to endure it. Philippians 4:8, you already have the step ladder. You already have all the things that you need to go through in your head to be like, okay, is this thought from God? Is this really what I should be doing? He's already given you that way. That's just one scripture. There are many different scriptures that can help you with that, but this is just the scripture that I chose for this lesson. So you can find one that might be better suited for you, that might help you more. Dive deep into the word. I suggest that you do that and find the best things for you to study on your own time. But he's already given it to you. So in any of these situations, that is how you do it. In the midst of it all, no matter what may be happening. Because no temptation is stronger than all the stuff that God has given you to fight. That also leads me to something, because one of the biggest temptations is other people. We have influencers. Technically, I am one myself. I'm an influencer on this channel. We help spread the gospel and everything. But there are many different influencers and things and TV shows and movies and stuff that might make you think certain things, that might make you want to do certain things. So how do you go against that? How do you fight other people's influence, especially when you see so many other people doing it, but you're not doing it and you feel like you should? Let's go into this. This will be, I'm kind of going through it, okay? This isn't going to be super long. This is Isaiah 54:17. No weapon that is fashioned against you shall succeed. You shall refute every tongue that rises against you in judgment. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their vindication from me, declares the Lord. Now, no weapon formed against you. We talked about our thought life in the beginning. I haven't touched on it much. But when people have like all these thoughts and trying to influence you to do the wrong thing, to do all these sinful thoughts, those are attacks. Those are attacks on your mind, on the most important place. But, as he said, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. None of those weapons have any power over you. The third point, I didn't even say the name of the third point, did I? The other thoughts can't hurt you. No matter what other people think of you, what thoughts they try to push on you, it cannot hurt you. God has already spoken into existence that it has no power over you. And all of their tongues that speak against you, you will refute it. It's gone. Out of the wind. Out the way. Now, the only way that it really has hold on you is this. You let it. But what's another way that you can make sure that those thoughts that come into your head from other people don't do that? You go all the way back again to point 1, to Philippians 4:8. You have the step. You have everything that you need already. You can just go through it. Everything goes back to Philippians 4:8. That's the beautiful thing about this. All these things, they work in tandem with each other. Okay? It's a nice little process and a nice thing. And it assures you, constant assurance from God, that all these things you can get through, that you can overcome, no matter what it is. Because obviously, I don't know your situation, Your brother might not know your situation. Your sister might not know. Your parents might not know. But God knows, and he's there with you all the time, every time. No matter what, you have these things with you to help you and to guide you. And if you didn't have these things before and this knowledge before, now you have it. Now you have this to help you in your life, because your thoughts, your mind, it is so strong, but it is also your greatest weakness, because if something gets into your mind, it doesn't matter. It has control over you. But remember, even though we may be weak, God's strength is made perfect in our weakness. So that's just another point in how all of these things cannot affect you, and you can make sure that your thought life is pure, that your thought life is what God would want you to be. Remember, you just got to go through it. See, and this is something I'm working on too, got to go through the step ladder, okay, which is one of the reasons I wanted to share it with you. And I do hope that you enjoyed this message. Again, this was not really long, okay? This is probably one of my shorter ones, but all of these things work so in tandem with each other, I don't really have to spend too much time with it. It just flows right into the another one. And I hope that, you will share it, like and share, comment. We would love to know what you think. Definitely make sure to subscribe. Tell all your friends and anybody who you think it might be a blessing to. Definitely make sure to reach out to us in our email, preacher1473@manofgodllc.com. Thank you so much for listening to me and this little message. Maybe something before you go to work, maybe something, right before you do whatever you're about to do. I just hope that it is a blessing and that it helps you so much. And I'll see you again the next time, young intelligent hearts.